Hey everybody! Yeah, we're back. Another Sunday, another vlog post. That's what is my cup. Today's Sunday. Anyway, today I've been trying to get some work done all day since morning. I actually woke up late, and then anyway, that's all by the way. Today is going to be something very something I think most of us go through, right? I call it the fight within, right? Basically, I'm talking about fighting yourself. There's a part of you that always contradicts your actions, right? In the sense that maybe you want to achieve something and there's that voice inside your head telling you that it's not possible, that you're just wasting your time. In my case, is when I'm trying to pursue my fitness, exercise, right? I have this internal dialogue within me that is always criticizing and mocking me anytime I'm trying to do exercise, right? Things like, you look stupid. Things like, what are you doing? Things like, this is cringe, right? I don't know why, but it just happens like that. And then I end up either letting it win, or, I mean, at worst, it wins, or at best, I don't get to fully, get that work in. So, I feel let's talk about that, right? If you know you can relate to this situation, let me know in the comments, right? So I've been looking into it a lot, and somebody told me it was because, basically, first of all, our brains are very lazy. What do I mean by that? It means our brain will find the shortest, most easy pathway to achieve something. And by the time it starts stressing it to form new neural pathways, it begins to fight back, right? Fighting back in terms of using your subconscious against you. So you realize that you have all these habits, right? Maybe it's good or bad, but you have all these habits. And whenever you're trying to change these habits, you find that it's difficult. Your brain fights you. And that's because these habits you have were formed when you do something consistently, and then that consistent action, right, is what forms the habit. And it forms when your brain is, creating new pathways. So for every habit you have, there's a pathway that your brain has created. So it becomes easier and easier for, to carry out that act. Hence, it becomes a habit. But when you're trying to form a new habit or change an old habit, your brain fights you. So in my case, it was exercise. I'm not usually an exercise person, right? For the longest time, I've been trying to be that exercise person. Well, fitness, workout. I see my friends working out, they're lifting weights, all of that. I'm not that guy. So whenever I try to do that, my brain fights me. That's where the negative talk comes from. So it takes a lot of discipline and just discipline, basically. It takes a shit ton of discipline, to be able to overcome that thing. And one thing I realized is, when I set out on these endeavors and I maybe reach a particular milestone, not only does it feel good, but the voices that are fighting me begin to diminish. So I don't have that internal dialogue isn't as intense anymore, and then it gets a bit easier and easier. So that's my brain succumbing to my own will. That's basically what it is, right? So this just goes to show you how powerful our brains are. And then, I guess, to advise anyone based on my own experience, don't stop. No matter what your brain is telling you, don't stop. You're still the one in control. That's what you need to realize. But why this thing is even more crucial is this. When people outside begin to say those negative things, it then feels as if, my subconscious was right all along, because it's now reinforcing that negativity. And this becomes particularly difficult, right? But the solution still remains the same. You need to keep on keeping on. You cannot stop, right? Because at the end, you realize that you're the one with the power all along, and everybody else outside was wrong. So that is just it. There's no trick, there's no magic. It's just that straightforward. That's why discipline is important, because discipline will help, correct all these things. And then You have to make discipline your friend. That's one thing I've realized. Once discipline is your friend, you can achieve anything in this life. Like once you're disciplined, you can achieve anything you want to achieve in this life. It's crazy magic. Once you can just overcome that barrier and just take and discipline, people are looking at it as something difficult. It feels difficult, yes, but it depends on your approach, right? What works for me is one foot after the other, step by step, right? I say, okay, I have this thing to achieve. I break it down into small steps. Let me do this one, do this one, do this one. So I focus. I know the big picture. I'm focusing on the small steps, right? I'm not getting to the point that, okay, this is how far I've come. You look how far. You look at your back. This is how far you've come, right? You keep going, right? So discipline is not supposed to be overwhelming. If you take it step by step, it works. It's what works for me. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Hopefully we'll see you again next Sunday. I have a new song coming out, by the way. It's called Meeting Again. We'll talk about that song next Sunday, don't worry. It's a very, very interesting song. We'll talk about it next Sunday. But yeah, nice talking to you guys again. I hope this helps someone, because that's the only reason I'm doing this, using my experiences to help others. So if you know this helped you, please don't forget to subscribe, like, so others will see it and it will help them too. And then let me know in the comments. Let us engage, let's interact, let's have a conversation, right? So I know that I'm not just talking to myself, even if I'm talking to myself. But yeah, see you guys next Sunday. Deuce.